It surrounds us, binds us, and defines our very existence. The Internet, a silent revolution that has reshaped humanity in a single generation. But what few realize is that this global web is not merely technology, but something far more profound, something prophesied. The yearning for connection is as old as humanity itself. From smoke signals across ancient plains to Roman roads carrying imperial decrees, from intricate postal systems to the tireless scribes in vast libraries, humans have always striven to share knowledge and bridge distances. Yet, these were efforts bound by the limitations of flesh, ink, and stone. Information traveled at the pace of a horse, a ship, or a runner, its reach confined by physical barriers. The desire for instantaneous, boundless communication was a seed planted in the human heart, waiting for an unprecedented means to bloom. Decades before the first microchip, one visionary articulated a future where all human knowledge could be instantly accessed and linked. In 1945, Vannevar Bush, a towering figure in American science, published his seminal essay, As We May Think. He conceived of the Memex, a mechanical device that would serve as a personal, interconnected archive. Imagine a desk where every book, every article, every personal note could be stored, indexed, and cross-referenced with startling speed, anticipating hypertext decades before its invention. Was this merely scientific foresight, or a divinely inspired glimpse into a future global network yet to be born? The abstract vision of the Memex soon found a harsh catalyst in the chilling realities of the Cold War. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, sending shockwaves of fear and urgency across the United States. In response, the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, was formed, tasked with ensuring America's technological supremacy. A critical need arose: a communication system that could withstand a nuclear attack. The traditional centralized networks were too vulnerable. What was required was a decentralized, robust system, where information could find multiple paths to its destination, even if parts of the network were destroyed. This strategic imperative, born from the shadow of global conflict, inadvertently laid the practical groundwork for the Internet. Yet the network's destiny would not remain confined to military bunkers. A new vision emerged, one that saw beyond mere resilience to a broader, human-centric purpose. J.C.R. Licklider, a pioneering computer scientist at MIT, championed a concept he called the intergalactic computer network in the early 1960s. His dream was not just about machines talking to each other, but about humans collaborating across vast distances, sharing computing resources and ideas. Licklider, who became the first head of ARPA's computer research program, passionately advocated for this collaborative network, shifting the focus from military survival to intellectual advancement and communal ingenuity. Licklider's galactic dream required a foundational technological leap, an invisible engine to power its vast ambition. That engine was packet switching. Instead of sending an entire message as a single, unbroken stream, this revolutionary concept proposed breaking data into small, individual packets, each traveling independently along the most efficient available route before reassembling at the destination. This ingenious method, developed independently by pioneers like Leonard Kleinrock, Paul Baran, and Donald Davies, allowed for unprecedented efficiency, flexibility, and fault tolerance. It was the crucial innovation that would make a decentralized, global network not just a dream, but a tangible reality. And so the stage was set. In the dimly lit labs of UCLA and the Stanford Research Institute, on October 29, 1969, the theoretical became physical. Graduate student Charlie Klein at UCLA attempted to transmit the word login to Bill Duvall at SRI. The first two letters, L and O, traveled successfully across the nascent ARPANET, signaling a profound shift in human history. Then, the system crashed, but the connection had been made. The impossible had occurred. An invisible thread had spanned the distance, proving that a global network, a true Internet, was not only possible but had begun its unstoppable journey. A single, imperfect message changed everything. The initial spark of connection was forged, yet a network needs more than mere links. It demands purpose. The early 1970s saw this emerging purpose take a definitive form, transforming the network from a complex technical curiosity into a truly functional communication tool. In 1971, a programmer named Ray Tomlinson sent the very first email, a simple message across the network, forever changing how humanity would correspond. The unassuming 8 symbol, separating username from host, became the digital keystone for a new era of global correspondence. But more fundamental still was the development of universal protocols, the Transmission Control Protocol/Internet Protocol, or TCP/IP. Pioneered by Vinton Cerf and Robert Kahn, TCP/IP became the foundational language, the very grammar that allowed disparate networks to speak to one another, standardizing the flow of data. It was an invisible architecture, yet without it, the grand vision of a truly global network would have remained just that. A vision. The simple A told A symbol unlocked global communication. But who truly designed its path? As the 1980s dawned, the network began to outgrow its initial confines. What started as ARPANET, a military and academic experiment, soon branched into separate entities. MILNET continued its strategic defense mission, while a burgeoning civilian network laid the groundwork for a broader, public-facing system. This was more than just a technical split. It was an evolutionary leap, a shedding of its military skin to embrace a wider identity. Critical to this expansion was the introduction of the domain name system, DNS, a revolutionary directory that replaced obscure numerical addresses with user-friendly names, like familiar street signs in a vast, new digital city. With this expansion, a new name emerged, one that truly captured its essence, the, quote, Internet, a network for digital networks, inherently international. It was no longer a project, but an entity, expanding organically, almost inevitably, across the globe. The network shed its military skin, becoming a global entity. What was its true identity? Despite its growing reach, the Internet in the late 1980s remained largely a tool for academics and specialists. It was powerful, but not intuitive. Then, in the quiet halls of CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, a British physicist named Tim Berners-Lee conceived a revolutionary idea, the World Wide Web. His vision was a hypertext-based information management system, a layer-built asterisk on top of the Internet, allowing users to navigate linked documents effortlessly. In 1991, he unveiled the first web server, browser, and website, opening a new dimension of online interaction. This wasn't merely a technological upgrade. It was a conceptual breakthrough, transforming the Internet from a data pipeline into a vast, interconnected tapestry of information, accessible to anyone with a browser. It made the immense power of the network not just available, but intuitive. A simple idea at CERN unleashed a worldwide explosion. Was it coincidence or design? The World Wide Web provided the content, but it needed a user-friendly window to truly capture the world's imagination. In the early 1990s, that window arrived. The release of the Mosaic browser from the National Center for Supercomputing Applications, NCSA, brought graphical interfaces, images, and intuitive navigation to the web. Suddenly, the Internet wasn't just text on a screen. It was a vibrant, visual experience. This innovation ignited a fervor, leading to the rapid rise of Netscape Navigator and the infamous browser wars, a fierce competition that, paradoxically, fueled even greater innovation and accessibility. Each new browser iteration made the web faster, easier, and more engaging, democratizing access and unleashing an unprecedented surge of public interest. The Internet was born, but it took a simple window to unlock its true power for the world. From the ashes of the dot-com bust, the Internet emerged leaner, stronger, and more integrated into daily life than ever before. The 2000s and 2010s ushered in the mobile era, spearheaded by the advent of smartphones. Suddenly, The internet was no longer confined to a desktop. It was in pockets, always on, deeply personal. This omnipresence was amplified by the explosion of social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Billions connected, shared, and consumed content, weaving the internet into the very fabric of human interaction. It became an extension of self, a constant companion that reshaped relationships, information flow, and personal identity on a global scale. From desktop to pocket, the internet invaded our lives. Was it a welcome guest or an unseen master? Today, the internet stands as an unparalleled global nervous system, an unseen, indispensable force that governs the rhythms of modern life. Its tendrils stretch across continents, through oceans, and into the very atmosphere, binding humanity in a web of instantaneous communication and data exchange. It is an entity of such profound scale and complexity that it defies simple categorization. It processes thoughts, facilitates commerce, ignites revolutions, and connects billions, all with an almost organic, self-organizing intelligence. Its growth has been relentless, its evolution astonishingly rapid. But is this phenomenal emergence merely the accidental byproduct of human ingenuity? Or is it the meticulously orchestrated fulfillment of a deeper, more profound purpose? It binds us all, unseen and undeniable. What cosmic blueprint is it fulfilling? What if the internet, this global tapestry of information, is more than mere human ingenuity? Imagine a library of Alexandria, not confined to papyrus scrolls and ancient halls, but expanded to encompass every text, every treatise, every whisper of knowledge ever recorded, accessible instantaneously to billions. This is the reality the internet has forged. Platforms like Wikipedia have become a collective human memory, constantly updated, universally translated. Massive open online courses, or MOOCs, shatter the walls of traditional academia, bringing university-level education to remote villages and bustling cities alike, requiring only a screen and a connection. Obscure scientific papers, ancient philosophical texts, specialized engineering knowledge once guarded in exclusive institutions are now just a search query away. This unprecedented democratization of knowledge fulfills an ancient human longing, echoing a divine promise of wisdom made accessible to all who seek it. Every book, every fact, at your fingertips. Is this the fulfillment of a divine promise of wisdom? The Internet's transformative touch extends beyond the realm of knowledge, fundamentally reshaping the very arteries of global commerce. It has dissolved geographical borders and time zones, creating a single, pulsating marketplace where transactions occur at the speed of light. Giants like Amazon and Alibaba orchestrate a seamless flow of goods and services across continents, turning individual consumer choices into global economic currents. But the revolution runs deeper. Cryptocurrencies, born from digital code, challenge millennia-old financial systems, offering instant, borderless payments that transcend the control of national currencies. This digital bazaar empowers individuals, turning a small artisan in a remote village into a global entrepreneur. It is a system of immense efficiency, a force for unprecedented prosperity and innovation. Yet, from local markets to a global bazaar, the internet created instant wealth. But at what cost? Beyond commerce and knowledge, the internet has emerged as an undeniable force for social change, amplifying voices once unheard and mobilizing movements across impossible distances. It has given the marginalized a megaphone, allowing cries for justice to resonate globally. Movements like the Arab Spring, born from digital outrage, swept across nations, demonstrating the internet's power to ignite political transformation. Campaigns such as #Black Lives Matter or countless online petitions against injustice have mobilized millions, proving the collective power of digital solidarity. Crowdfunding platforms channel resources directly to humanitarian causes, bypassing traditional gatekeepers and empowering grassroots efforts to make a tangible difference. When the oppressed found a voice online, the world listened. Is this divine justice? or chaos. At its heart, the Internet answers a deeply human yearning, the desire for connection. It builds bridges across vast oceans and impenetrable cultural divides, fostering communities that transcend physical boundaries. Families scattered across continents can gather for virtual meals, sharing laughter and stories as if they were in the same room. Online forums dedicated to every conceivable interest, from rare hobbies to chronic illnesses, thrive as safe havens for individuals to find their people, offering support and understanding that might be absent in their immediate physical surroundings. Virtual support networks provide comfort and guidance during life's greatest challenges, proving that human empathy can traverse fiber optic cables. The Internet promised to connect us all. Did it deliver true community or a digital illusion? Perhaps one of the Internet's most profound and hopeful impacts lies in its acceleration of medical breakthroughs and the delivery of remote care. The global network allows scientists, researchers, and medical professionals to share vital data instantaneously, accelerating the pace of discovery. Remote diagnostics, once the stuff of science fiction, are now a reality, enabling specialists to consult with patients in underserved areas, bridging critical healthcare gaps. The unprecedented speed of vaccine development and disease tracking during global health crises is a direct testament to interconnected data and collaborative platforms. The Internet has literally become a lifeline, bringing healing and hope to millions. Miracles in medicine, accelerated by the web. Is this a healing touch or a prelude to control? For artists and creators, the Internet has unlocked an era of unprecedented freedom and global reach. It has shattered the traditional gatekeepers of the creative industries, empowering independent musicians, filmmakers, writers, and visual artists to share their work directly with a worldwide audience. Platforms like YouTube and TikTok have launched careers overnight, allowing raw talent to bypass established studios and publishers. New forms of artistic expression, born from digital tools and collaborative networks, continually emerge, pushing the boundaries of human creativity. The Internet is a boundless canvas, a global stage where every artist, every voice can be heard. Is this true freedom or a new kind of stage? The Internet, in its purest form, has undeniably served as a benevolent giant, a force for unparalleled good. It has democratized knowledge, ignited global commerce, empowered the voiceless, fostered communities, accelerated scientific progress, and unleashed a torrent of human creativity. It promised a global village, a world more connected, more informed, and more capable than ever before. For many, it has delivered on that promise, offering tools that uplift, educate, and unite. It promised a better world. But what lurks in the shadows of this digital utopia? Every action online is watched. Who is collecting this vast data, and for what ultimate purpose? The Internet, hailed as a beacon of transparency, has paradoxically become the greatest engine of unseen surveillance. Every click, every search, every interaction online leaves a digital fingerprint, meticulously collected, analyzed, and monetized. This isn't just about targeted ads. It's about a vast, intricate web of data that paints an unerring portrait of every individual, often without their full consent or comprehension. Revelations from whistleblowers like Edward Snowden exposed the staggering scale of government surveillance programs, confirming that private conversations, digital footprints, and even physical locations are routinely monitored. Our privacy, once a sacred right, has become a commodity, a ghost in the machine, traded and exploited on an unprecedented scale, leaving humanity perpetually vulnerable and exposed. Truth itself is under attack online. Who benefits from this global deception? The very network designed to share knowledge has proven equally adept at disseminating falsehoods. Misinformation and disinformation spread with viral speed, eroding trust in institutions, science, and even fundamental reality. From electoral interference campaigns that manipulate public opinion to sophisticated deepfakes that blur the line between real and artificial, the Internet has become a battleground for truth itself. Algorithms, designed to maximize engagement, inadvertently trap users in filter bubbles and echo chambers, where dissenting views are silenced and biased information is amplified, fragmenting society into polarized realities. This weaponization of information is a disorienting force, sowing chaos and division across the globe. The web promised connection, but delivered addiction. Is it a tool for freedom or a new chain? The constant pull of notifications, the curated perfection of social media feeds, the endless scroll of content. These are not accidental. They are meticulously engineered to capture and retain attention, often at the expense of mental well-being. Studies now reveal rising rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness, ironically amplified by platforms designed to connect. Cyberbullying, comparison culture, and the pressure to present an idealized self have taken a severe psychological toll, especially on younger generations. The paradox is stark. In a world more digitally connected than ever, many feel more isolated, trapped in a cycle of digital dependence that resembles addiction, not liberation. The digital age leaves many behind. Is this the design of a global system that favors few? While billions revel in the Internet's bounty, vast swaths of humanity remain untouched by its transformative power. The digital divide is a stark reality, separating those with access to high-speed connectivity and digital literacy from those without. In rural communities, developing nations, and marginalized populations, the promise of the Internet remains an unfulfilled dream. This lack of access perpetuates existing inequalities, limiting educational opportunities, economic participation, and access to vital information. The Internet, for all its unifying potential, has also exacerbated disparities, creating new forms of marginalization and leaving many outside the burgeoning global digital economy. The invisible war is already here, fought across the Internet. Who controls the ultimate weapon? The interconnectedness that defines the Internet also exposes a critical vulnerability. Our modern world relies on digital infrastructure, power grids, financial systems, transportation networks, and communication channels. These critical systems are under constant siege. State-sponsored cyber warfare, ransomware attacks, and sophisticated hacking groups relentlessly probe for weaknesses capable of crippling entire nations. News headlines routinely report massive data breaches, electoral interference, and the theft of state secrets. The Internet, once seen as a shield of information, has become a high-stakes battleground, a fragile foundation upon which global stability precariously rests. The Internet now thinks for itself. Is this evolution or a step toward a new master? From the vast ocean of data, a new intelligence is emerging, powered by the Internet's boundless resources. Artificial intelligence, once science fiction, is rapidly becoming a pervasive force, integrating into every aspect of daily life. Systems like ChatGPT demonstrate an uncanny ability to generate human-like text, images, and even entire worlds. Automated factories, autonomous vehicles, and predictive algorithms are reshaping industries and redefining human labor. These advancements raise profound ethical dilemmas, questions of job displacement, bias in algorithms, and the ultimate potential for superintelligence that could render humanity obsolete, or, more chillingly, subservient. The web promised freedom, but delivered ultimate control. Is this the trap prophecy foretold? The very networks that facilitate global communication can also become instruments of unprecedented control. Governments and authoritarian regimes have developed sophisticated digital firewalls and surveillance apparatuses, such as China's Great Firewall, to monitor citizens, suppress dissent, and manipulate public discourse. Online content deemed undesirable is systematically blocked, voices of opposition are silenced, and entire populations can be isolated from the free flow of information. The Internet, once a symbol of liberation, can be co-opted to create a digital cage, transforming an open world into a tightly controlled, pervasive system of governance. A force for good or a tool for evil? The Internet's true allegiance is about to be revealed. The Internet stands as a two-edged sword, a marvel of human ingenuity capable of unparalleled good yet also possessing the terrifying potential for unprecedented danger. It has connected humanity, democratized knowledge, and fostered innovation. But it has also eroded privacy, weaponized information, fueled addiction, exacerbated inequality, and become a fertile ground for cyber warfare and totalitarian control. This duality, this profound ambiguity, compels us to ask, is this global network merely a product of human ambition, or does its very existence, its rapid, inescapable rise, fulfill a deeper, more ancient prophecy? Humanity once tried to reach heaven together. Has the Internet rebuilt the Tower of Babel? And for what purpose? In the ancient plains of Shinar, a united humanity, speaking one language, began to build a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Their ambition was singular, to make a name for themselves, to consolidate their power, and to avoid being scattered across the face of the earth. But God intervened, confusing their language, scattering them, and frustrating their audacious attempt at a one-world power. Yet, today, a new tower rises, not of brick and mortar, but of light and code. The Internet, a digital Babel, has woven humanity back together, overcoming language barriers with instant translation, enabling unified global communication, and consolidating information under a single, omnipresent digital roof. This unprecedented connectivity, while seemingly miraculous, echoes an ancient warning. When humanity seeks ultimate unity outside of God's divine order, what darker purpose might it serve? Everywhere you go, online and off, you are seen. Is this the all-seeing eye of prophecy? The digital age has birthed an era of universal transparency, where privacy is an illusion. Governments, corporations, and unseen entities collect and analyze every digital footprint. From satellite views monitoring global movements to ubiquitous CCTV networks, from facial recognition systems identifying individuals in real time to biometric data points cataloging our very essence, nothing escapes the digital gaze. This pervasive surveillance aligns chillingly with prophetic descriptions of a time when nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and a system demands universal visibility. In this vast web of data, every click, every purchase, every conversation becomes a thread in a tapestry of control, making the world an open book to those who hold the keys to its digital archives. A cashless world is coming. Will it be freedom or the mark that controls every transaction? For millennia, commerce relied on tangible exchange. Today, the Internet is rapidly ushering in a cashless society, replacing physical currency with digital bytes. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are being designed to track and control every transaction. Proposals for global digital IDs, often tied to biometric data, promise seamless integration into this new economic order. But this perfect efficiency comes with an ominous shadow. The book of Revelation warns of a time when no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of its name. Could this emerging digital economy, with its demand for universal participation and untraceable control, be the very infrastructure for this prophesied system? The power to restrict buying and selling is the ultimate instrument of coercion, and the Internet provides its perfect conduit. The Internet weaves a global web of power. Is this the beast system rising before our eyes? The Internet's inherent design, a global, interconnected network, lends itself perfectly to the consolidation of power. We witness international organizations and digital summits increasingly calling for global Internet governance, for a unified approach to everything from data privacy to content moderation. This rhetoric of global solutions to global problems, enabled and enforced by the digital web, mirrors ancient prophecies of a singular authority rising to dominance over all nations. Revelation describes a beast system that exercises authority over every tribe and people and language and nation. The Internet, by its very nature, provides the seamless, invisible infrastructure for such a centralized, all-encompassing global governance. If AI gains breadth, will it become the image that demands global worship? The Internet is the nervous system, and artificial intelligence is its burgeoning mind. With rapid advancements, AI systems are beginning to mimic human thought, emotions, and even creativity with stunning realism. Lifelike robots, virtual reality environments so convincing they blur the line with reality, and holographic projections that defy our senses, all powered by the Internet, are becoming commonplace. Prophecy speaks of an image of the beast that was allowed to give breath to the image, so that the image could even speak and cause all who would not worship the image to be killed. This chilling passage forces a profound question. As AI approaches sentience, and as digital forms become indistinguishable from life itself, could this technology become the very image that demands devotion backed by the global network? Digital illusions are becoming reality. Is this how the world will be deceived by false signs? The Internet, coupled with advanced technology, possesses an unparalleled capacity for creating convincing illusions. Augmented reality overlays digital content onto our physical world, while virtual reality immerses us in entirely fabricated realities. Hyper-realistic simulations and holographic technology can conjure images and experiences that are indistinguishable from the real. These capabilities align precisely with prophecies, describing false prophets performing great signs and wonders to deceive the inhabitants of the earth. In a digitally saturated world, where truth is already fragile, the line between divine miracle and technological deception could become terrifyingly blurred, leading millions astray through fabricated wonders. The Internet, the perfect tool, already built, waiting for the one who will wield its ultimate power. When we synthesize these elements, the pervasive surveillance, the absolute economic control, the potential for AI to mimic life, and the capacity for digital deception, a stark prophetic picture emerges. The Internet stands as the ultimate, indispensable instrument for the Antichrist's agenda. It is the global nervous system, the all-seeing eye, the economic gatekeeper, and the master of illusion, all rolled into one. It is the perfect infrastructure for a global, totalitarian system, a digital kingdom poised for its king. This network, once hailed as a beacon of freedom, now appears to be the most potent tool ever devised for ultimate control, waiting for the one figure prophesied to wield its power. Even in the darkest prophecy, God remains in control. What is the Internet's unexpected good role? Yet, even as the shadow of these prophecies looms large over the digital landscape, a critical truth remains. Nothing, not even the most advanced human technology, operates outside the sovereign will of God. Just as ancient empires rose and fell according to His divine decree, so too does this global network exist within His greater plan. God remains sovereign over all human inventions and their ultimate destinies. While the Internet presents unprecedented challenges and dangers, it also holds an unexpected potential for good, even in the end times. For the Master of the universe orchestrates all things, bending even the tools of darkness to fulfill His righteous purposes. Even as the shadows of digital control lengthen, a counter-narrative of divine purpose unfolds. The Internet, a tool of immense power, is also becoming an unprecedented instrument for the greatest mission ever given to humanity, the Great Commission. What once took decades, carried by missionaries across vast, dangerous lands, now travels at the speed of light. Digital Bibles, translated into thousands of languages, stream into every corner of the globe. Sermons from humble pulpits reach millions. Online apologetics defend the faith against every argument, and global prayer networks unite believers in real-time intercession. The Internet penetrates regions impenetrable by traditional means, bringing the message of hope to unreached people groups, fulfilling prophecy that the gospel must be preached to all nations before the end. Even as darkness gathers, the Internet carries the ultimate message of hope across every border. But the Internet's redemptive power extends beyond evangelism. When the world seeks to control, a hidden network of faith emerges. For those facing persecution in restricted nations, the digital realm becomes a lifeline. Encrypted communications allow believers to connect, share Scripture, and offer mutual support, circumventing the very systems designed to oppress them. Online fellowships thrive in secret, offering community and encouragement when physical gatherings are impossible. The Internet becomes a digital underground railroad, a resilient remnants network that defies authoritarian efforts to isolate and silence. It is a testament to God's sovereignty that even the tools intended for global control can be subverted for the survival and strengthening of His people. How will believers use it? In a world saturated with digital lies, the Internet paradoxically also holds the potential to unmask deception. While misinformation spreads virally, the same network empowers truth seekers. Investigative journalists, citizen reporters, and dedicated fact-checking organizations leverage its vast resources to expose falsehoods, debunk conspiracy theories, and bring hidden agendas to light. The ability to cross-reference information, access diverse perspectives, and scrutinize sources can serve as a potent antidote to propaganda. For those with discerning eyes, the Internet provides the capacity to cut through the noise, revealing the truth that global powers often seek to suppress. But only if you know how to look. How do we navigate this digital maze? The Bible provides the ultimate map for discernment. In an age of unprecedented information and pervasive influence, believers are called to cultivate spiritual wisdom more than ever. It demands a steadfast reliance on Scripture as the ultimate truth, a commitment to consistent prayer for divine guidance, and active participation in a community of faithful believers. This spiritual armor empowers us to critically evaluate online content, to resist the pull of digital addictions, and to understand the prophetic implications of emerging technologies without succumbing to fear. This is not a call to retreat from the world, but to engage it with wisdom and spiritual clarity. For all its power, its dangers, and its redemptive potential, the Internet remains an earthly system. But no earthly power, digital or otherwise, can stand against the King of Kings. Our true hope lies beyond the screen. Scripture reminds us that our citizenship is in heaven, and our ultimate allegiance is not to any digital empire or global network, but to the unshakable kingdom of God. This eternal perspective anchors us amidst the swirling currents of technological change and prophetic fulfillment. It is a promise that God's plan will ultimately prevail, culminating in a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells, where every tear is wiped away, and where His glory fills all creation. Every earthly system will pass away. But what place will the Internet have in the new earth? The ultimate end of all things is not destruction, but redemption. Just as God will make all things new, transforming creation itself, perhaps even the technology born from human ingenuity, will find its place in His redeemed design. Imagine a transformed digital landscape, free from sin and corruption, used solely for God's glory, for perfect communication, for sharing eternal truths, and for connecting a redeemed humanity in joyous worship. In God's ultimate plan, even the most complex and ambiguous of human inventions can be purified and repurposed for His everlasting kingdom. The Internet story, from its whispered beginnings to its global dominance, is intricately woven into the tapestry of biblical prophecy. It is a tool of unparalleled good, yet also an infrastructure perfectly poised for unprecedented control. Do you see the Internet's prophetic role unfolding today? Are its benevolent applications simply a prelude, or is its dual nature a constant challenge for discernment? We are living in times when prophecies unfold quietly, and what once seemed ancient is now more alive than ever. So where do you think we stand in this story? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. And if you'd like us to keep exploring how current events connect with biblical prophecy, give this video a thumbs up and share it. This lets us know we should continue uncovering more prophecies unfolding right before our eyes. And if you're ready to dive even deeper, click right now on the video you see on your screen, Daniel's 7 Keys for Identifying the Antichrist. In these times, understanding is more essential than ever. Blessings.